When Brock Lesnar, yes, the Beast himself, unleashed an unforgettable, brutal attack on Bronson Reed. What started as a routine night quickly turned into absolute madness as Lesnar, fueled by pure rage, confronted Reed in a violent showdown that left everyone stunned. The Colossal, known for his unstoppable strength, found himself overwhelmed by Lesnar's fury in a moment nobody saw coming. Whispers of tension had been swirling for weeks, but no one expected this level of intensity. The WWE Universe is buzzing, fans are going wild online, and questions are flying. Why did Brock strike so hard? What does this mean for Bronson Reed's future? One thing's for sure, this was more than just a fight. It was a statement, a scene of pure chaos. Witnesses described the assault. Those present described the scene with a mixture of horror and disbelief. Brock Lesnar stood like a predator, his face contorted in rage, veins bulging on his forehead and neck. His eyes were wild, filled with a primal fury that sent a chilling message. This wasn't just a fight, it was a demolition, a violent reckoning. Bronson Reed, who had made a name for himself by bulldozing through opponents with raw power and unyielding aggression, was suddenly the one on the defensive. Despite his size and strength, Reed weighs over 330 pounds and is a mountain of muscle. He looks small and overwhelmed in the shadow of Lesnar's wrath. Witnesses say that the first blow came like a sledgehammer, a thunderous knee to Reed's midsection that bent the Colossal in half. The sound was shocking, a sickening crack that reverberated through the narrow hallway. Before Reed could even gather his senses, Lesnar had him locked in a crushing grip and launched him through a steel table piled with equipment. Sparks flew, the metal clanged violently, and the chaos was deafening. Beyond brutality, Lesnar's relentless rampage. But Lesnar wasn't done. This wasn't a quick scare or a show of dominance. It was a merciless assault. Grabbing Reed by the neck like a rag doll, Brock slammed him into a concrete wall with such force that onlookers claimed they could feel the vibration through the floorboards. Security personnel and referees rushed to intervene, but Brock laughed them off, roaring like a beast unchallenged. He tossed aside the men who tried to stop him as if they were nothing more than flies. For all Reed's reputation and strength, he was rendered helpless in that moment, a titan brought low by the sheer fury and brutality of the beast. 1F5, Lesnar's signature finishing move, was delivered with such devastating power that Reed's body went limp. And then came a second F5, this time onto a stack of road cases, each slam echoing like a thunderclap. The aftermath was grim. Reed lay motionless, a pile of broken muscle and pain, as WWE officials screamed for medical assistance. The chaos backstage was unlike anything anyone had seen before in WWE's history. The fallout, fans and WWE Universe. The incident wasn't broadcast live. Fans inside the arena were left in the dark about what had transpired behind the scenes. But as always, someone captured the chaos on a cell phone, and the footage quickly leaked online. Within minutes, millions of eyes had seen the raw brutality unfold. Social media exploded with shock, outrage, and fierce debate. Brock Lesnar and Bronson Reed trended worldwide as fans grappled with the sheer violence of the attack and demanded answers. The internet became a battleground where fans argued over whether Lesnar's actions were justified or cowardly, whether Reed had it coming for talking trash, or whether Brock had gone too far this time. Bronson Reed's bold words, "Fueling the Beast's fury?" The backstory fueling this explosive confrontation is just as important as the violence itself. Bronson Reed, before the attack, had been vocally claiming backstage that he was the new monster in WWE, that the era of Brock Lesnar had passed, and that the Beast was done, retired, or simply too soft to handle today's generation of wrestlers. Several insiders say Reed's confidence, and maybe arrogance, reached a point where he was openly dismissing Lesnar's legacy. If there's one thing we know about Brock Lesnar, it's that he doesn't tolerate disrespect. The Colossal's public remarks likely reached Brock's ears, and it ignited a rage that could only be extinguished by a brutal lesson. What happened backstage wasn't just violence. It was a savage message, a warning to anyone thinking they can dethrone the King of Monsters. The medical reality, serious injuries and long recovery. As dramatic as the assault was, the physical toll on Bronson Reed was devastating. Medical reports that followed painted a grim picture. Reed reportedly suffered multiple fractured ribs, a dislocated shoulder, and severe spinal trauma. Injuries that could sideline a wrestler for months or even longer. Watching a man nicknamed the Colossal being stretchered out, immobilized with a neck brace, was heartbreaking for fans and colleagues alike. Reed's wife and close friends were seen backstage, visibly shaken, their concern a stark contrast to the violent spectacle that had just unfolded. With Reed officially pulled from upcoming WWE events, his momentum has been brutally halted. A rising star now faces an uncertain future, his career hanging in the balance. WWE's silence, approval or indifference. One of the most baffling aspects of this incident has been WWE management's near-total silence. No press releases, no disciplinary actions, no fines, no public condemnations of Lesnar's actions. This lack of response has only fueled speculation and controversy. To many insiders and fans, this silence feels like tacit approval, almost as if the attack was orchestrated or at least allowed behind closed doors. Could this be part of a larger plan, a deliberate way to shake up the roster and storylines? Locker room reactions, division and fear. Within the WWE locker room, the mood is tense and divided. Some superstars are reportedly furious, seeing Lesnar's unchecked rampage as a dangerous precedent that could put everyone at risk. The idea that one superstar could return and physically assault a colleague without consequence is unsettling. Yet others quietly admire the chaos Lesnar brings, believing that WWE needs this kind of unpredictability and raw power to reignite fan interest and restore a sense of danger in the product. The role of Triple H, puppet master behind the scenes? Speculation has swirled that this incident wasn't just Brock acting on his own. Some insiders hint that WWE's executive and creative mind, Triple H, may have orchestrated the attack to test Bronson Reed's resilience. Reed's rapid rise and dominant portrayal may have threatened the established order. And what better way to challenge a rising star than by unleashing the beast on him? If true, this would explain WWE's silence and the absence of disciplinary action, framing the brutal assault as a storyline catalyst rather than an act of reckless violence. What's next? The potential for a legendary rivalry. The fallout leaves fans and insiders alike asking, what comes next? Will Bronson Reed come back from this beating stronger, fueled by humiliation and pain? Or has Lesnar permanently crushed his momentum and claimed to being WWE's next unstoppable monster? If WWE continues this storyline, the potential for one of the most brutal and emotionally charged rivalries in modern wrestling history is immense. Imagine a rematch inside a steel cage, a last man standing brawl, or even a Hell in a Cell war that pushes both men to their physical and emotional limits. Final thoughts. The beginning of a new era or a tragic setback. In the end, this backstage confrontation wasn't just an isolated moment of violence. It was a declaration of intent from Brock Lesnar. He reminded the WWE Universe that he is still the Beast, the alpha predator who will not be replaced without a fight. For Bronson Reed, the road ahead is uncertain but full of potential. Whether this incident becomes the catalyst for a legendary comeback or the tragic end of a promising career remains to be seen. One thing is certain, WWE fans worldwide will be watching closely, waiting for the next chapter in this saga. The dust may have settled for now, but the war is just beginning.